Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? That's a good question. I do set goals for myself, but I'm not the kind of person who, I'm not particularly ambitious as far as like career and that kind of thing goes. I feel like that what's most important for me is love and the connection that I have with people in my life. And I'm not, I haven't set out to become rich or wealthy or anything like that. I would like to see, the one thing I would like to see along those lines is I would like to figure out a way to support myself in an ethical kind of way that, that is free from being involved in a corporation or certainly retail is extremely difficult and extremely challenging, and the payoff from it is very little. I'm very fortunate where I work now, and the management that I work for is very, very kind, and it's a very good company as far as that goes, and so I'm very fortunate as far as that goes. But I would like to see myself as self-employed in some field, um, hopefully in 10 years from now. Do you believe in 2012? I do. I actually think that the Mayan calendar is a form of a consciousness calendar, and I think that 2012 marks a time prophetically when we will make a shift away from, and it happens in stages and steps, but I think that it will mark a point when we either go towards collective working together on this planet and coming together on this planet to create a better world globally. And I think that there will be a segment of humanity that decides that they want to cling to the old ways and to patriarchal, military-industrial kinds of thinking and systems. So hopefully we'll have enough people to kind of shift that balance so that we can carry forward humanity to the next stage of evolution. So those are that's my take on it. I don't know if anything physical will happen or not, but I think that it marks a time in our consciousness in evolutionary terms when we will either go one way or the other. And so hopefully we all will choose love and unity. What kind of books do you like to read? I tend to read a lot of Wiccan books, and that's primarily what I read, but sometimes I read science fiction every so often, and that kind of thing. I'm reading a book called Illegal Alien right now, which is kind of rare that I read fiction, but when I do, I read things like that. It's really interesting too. It's about this, these aliens show up, they need humanity to help repair their ship, and so they come down, and one of them ends up murdering a human being, and they put them on trial, and so I'm halfway through it, so we'll see how it goes. If you could live during any time period, when would it be? Meaning 1800s, 1900s, etc., and why? I would like, if I could live in any time period, of course I like living right now. I think that this is a great time to be alive. But if I could go back to any point in history and live, I would like to live in Egypt, in Bubastis, probably during the Persian occupation, right before the Ptolemaic dynasties. I think that would be an interesting place to be and an interesting time to live. And I've always felt very drawn to that place and to that time. And there's probably a very strong past life connection there for me. So that's where I would like to be. What is your favorite animal? The cats. I think I addressed that in one of the other questions. But yeah, the cat family is my favorite animal of all time. How old were you when you took your path? I was 19 or 20 when I became Wiccan. What led you to your path? It was a process of me coming out, I think, and being in a Christian environment, which wasn't receptive to that. It kind of forced me to broaden my mind and to think of deity in different ways and to explore other paths and other spiritualities. And there were a series of synchronicities that happened that led me to Starhawk's book, The Spiral Dance, and from then on, I consider myself pagan from that point on and Wiccan. What were your first witchy stirrings? I always felt kind of magical and drawn to magic and that kind of thing. And like I said previously, I always had experiences throughout my life where there were mystical kinds of occurrences, and I often would see departed loved ones and that kind of thing. So I would say always. What was the first tool you bought? That's a good question. I didn't get the elemental tools until I was further along in the path, but when I was about 19 I bought a tarot deck. I felt very drawn to the tarot, and that was the first thing that I bought. And have you ever been to a witch fest? I haven't ever been to one of the festivals. I've always intended from the very beginning to go to one of the gatherings or one of the festivals that happen across the country. And at some point, maybe me and Kit will go to one if we can somehow work out our vacation time and schedule something like that. That would be really, really great to go to. But no, I've never been so far.